John Myrtle and Darren Fletcher will be in charge of steering Manchester United's football operation. One of the attractions of Ten Hag is how he was worked so well in a similar structure at Ajax. That is the story that the Manchester Evening News are spinning, that it's Myrtle and Fletcher. We know that Ralf Rangnick will be there as a consultant, working between 6 to 7 days per month. But he looks on course to accepting and being announced as the Austrian national team manager. A few days ago, I expressed my frustrations, to which many people thought was an unnecessary rant. But the news in the last 24 hours, coming from credible sources like Laurie Whitwell, should be leaving Manchester United fans with a fear and worry and concern about the direction of the club still. Erik Ten Hag is a brilliant appointment. Using Ralf Rangnick on a consultative basis is good, but not ideal. The majority of us, if you go back to when he was announced as the new manager, as the interim manager, and the idea of him becoming a consultant, it was not expressed to us at that moment in time that he would be a part-time consultant, not even part-time. 6 days a month is practically a hobby, not part-time work. That was not expressed. We all thought there would be the possibility of him having a permanent or at least full-time consultative role sitting upstairs, helping the likes of Myrtle and Fletcher to develop their skills when it comes to the football operations of a club the size of Manchester United. And not just the size of Manchester United, but with the need of open heart surgery, to quote Rangnick himself. John Myrtle has a pedigree in the sport. He is well respected within football and has earned his stripes through the years, through different roles at different clubs in the elite end of the spectrum. Now, his credentials to be able to work at Manchester United are there for everybody to see, but essentially being our technical director of football, I don't really care about the title of these things, by the way, running the football operation. I still don't think he has enough skin in the game, enough experience, and enough know-how to take the biggest fallen giant in the world and make us play well again. Now, nobody is asking for perfection. They just want progression in the short term. There's no doubt about that. It's a great saying I heard the other day. It's not about progression. It's about progression, not perfection. And that's the early days. There's no doubt about it. That is needed. But I'm not sure if Myrtle is the guy 100% without any further guidance around him to do that. Matt Judge, Ed Woodward leaving is absolutely brilliant. It's impeccable. It is absolutely impeccable. That news is gargantuan. Not going to deny that, not going to lie. They needed to go. They failed from a footballing standpoint for nigh on a decade, and it's great they're gone. But so far, I have not seen enough evidence to suggest that Manchester United are making the changes behind the scenes to get the football operation, the football club's culture and structure back on track. I'm going to come on to Ten Hag a little bit later. The news that's come out from Laurie Whitwell is that United will... Matt Judge resigned in part because of the role change once Ed Woodward left, which is a good thing. He wanted more football operations. That tells you, you know what? Man United are... That tells you that Manchester United are stopping the bankers, quote unquote, from making footballing decisions. That reads very, very good indeed. He says, except at Manchester United, Judge jobs unnecessarily. Sorry, it says acceptance at Man United, Judge's job unnecessary and recruitment must improve. All sounds great. But no like-for-like replacement is planned. Paul Mitchell not actively being considered. Now, that flies in the face of news the other day that was put out across social media that United were in negotiations with him. Now, maybe they negotiated. They've said, no, Whitwell's been fed by the club. We weren't even looking at him. Either way, I don't care about the semantics, the narrative, the jackanory behind this. If we're not bringing in somebody of Paul Mitchell's class, I'm not happy. Now, it sounds great that Arnold, who is Woodward's replacement, is now saying, we the financiers, we the bankers, we're making no decisions. We're bringing in Erik Ten Hag and his coaching team. We're going to let Fletcher, we're going to let Myrtle, and of course with Ralf Rangnick being the consultant, make the footballing decisions along with the scouting network and recruitment team. It sounds good on paper, But how many people running the club do we have that are best in class, that have been there and done it at the elite end of the spectrum in their respective roles? Erik ten Hag is a fantastic coach. He is not managed at this level yet. He hasn't. Will he rise to the occasion? I hope so. I know you hope so as well, but we all hope. We hope and pray that he can rise to the occasion, unless you're a rival and you're hoping he crashes and burns. But what he needs behind him is structure. There's a great video on Football Daily. Just search it. 10 football directors that changed their clubs. Go search it and listen. Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola are brilliant. They are one of the main reasons their clubs are so great. But the directors of football and the people running the club behind the scenes are best in class, and they have got those clubs running like a finely tuned machine. Look at Chelsea and the turmoil they're going through. People want to throw Tuchel under the bus and moan about the players. It's because Roman's gone. The structure of the club is crumbling because nobody knows how they're going to operate moving forward. And this type of behavior, this type of situation can be catastrophic for a team. Now, I could be wrong. Myrtle and Fletcher, Danny Devil in the details, regular on the football terrace, big on the spaces, believes they're kind of good enough in one way, shape or form. Thinks we are overreacting. Many of your comments on my video moaning about the Paul Mitchell rejection the other day. Hang on a minute, Terry, you're doing this for clicks. Why are you angry? I'm getting a bit concerned. Danny Devil in the details, no. Anyone with his opinion that thinks Myrtle and Fletcher are good enough, great. I respect that. People are gearing up, aren't they? For Eric in, Eric out. People are going for that low-hanging fruit again. What's easier to focus on is the manager, and maybe a few players that I don't necessarily like. It's as clear as the nose upon the end of your face. And I am not going to sit here and not allow the fans or the club to go in that direction because I can't control people. But I'm not going to sit here and go quietly into the night and ignore this. I'm never going to let that happen. We've got to keep the narrative in the right place. If we don't get the structural element right, the recruitment right, the player behaviors right, and that isn't all driven by the manager in the short term. The club and manager have got to be in sync. They have got to be together. There has got to be a cohesive, consistent approach from everybody involved. And this news that we are not actively looking at Paul Mitchell. Ralph, I'm telling you, within 6 months, will not be involved anymore once he really starts work on a full-time job, being the manager of Austria. He might get a call from here and then, and what do you reckon of this, and what do you reckon? If you're having to ring Ralph, I'm not even meaning this rudely, the Fletcher and Myrtle. If you're ringing Ralph to tell you what to do, employ a Ralph. Employ the man. Employ the man. I don't think it's wrong that Darren Fletcher's here. I don't think it's wrong that John Myrtle are here. But they need to learn from people that have worn the T-shirt, that are not dripping wet behind the ears. We don't need fledglings trying to help Erik ten Hag, in my very humble opinion. Changing of the structure has got to be the key focus. It needs attention. It needs fan opinion. That's where there's got to be. Manager in and manager outs, players in and player outs has got to become not even secondary. It's got to be the third, fourth, fifth thing that you focus on. The way the club is run is absolutely imperative. Now, from my point of view and my standpoint, this is bad news. You may disagree. And in the comments section below, I want to hear from you. I want to know what you're thinking and what you're feeling. Thank you to everybody, by the way, that's doing the new feature that's available on YouTube, which is thanks. They're called thank yous. That they're a super chat you can do on uploaded videos, just as this one is. It really does help support the Football Terror. So thank you to everybody that has done that so far. If you feel like doing it, you'll see it available on the bottom panel below. I'll reply to as many comments as I can, as I always do, but I want your thoughts and feelings on this. Are Man United building the right structure to become successful? Or do you think we're going to end up in the same situation, frying pan to fire, as we've done on each and every managerial appointment since Sir Alex Ferguson. I want your views and opinions. Smash the like and the share button. And of course, scan that QR code you can see on the screen as well to our Clips channel. Every day, 2 to 3 clips are shared. Brilliant content from the terrace. You may have missed these moments in some of our longer format streams, so please go and check that out right about now. The link's also in the description below if you're not watching on a desktop or laptop or your TV to be able to scan. But until next time, my friends, take care. Goodbye. God bless, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you.